now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Yashar'el.
Khan, Shabbat shalom, Israel.
That's right. Having a, celebrating the feast of the Shabbat, of the Holy Shabbat, with the saints, with the brews. It's always a blessing, y'all. And I see that many of you are already on before we got started, which is cool. And then y'all got number one in the box, so we know that we're good, loud and clear. So while Brother Eitan is preparing to bring up Jubilees chapter 2, so we can read our intro verse, we're gonna be talking about the power of the 12 sons of Jacob. It's going to be a really good lesson because we're going to lay out some really profound foundation. Not going to tell you everything right up front, but you'll see as we go through the scriptures, and you'll see what where we want to lead this thing to, and so that you can see how the Most High delegates authority to the men, and that's very important to understand, Yashar'el. And that's something that the Most High has always set up. All right, no matter what, regardless who likes it or who don't like it. All right, Most High created us. We didn't create him.
Right.
So all we're gonna do is just lay the scriptures down. Whether our people accept it or not is entirely up to them. But woe unto them that don't accept the truth.
That's
woe
right.
unto them that deny it, because your only choice you're gonna have is the lake. Which most of our people are already headed to, and a lot of them don't even care.
That's right.
Yeah, many of them plan on thinking that they're gonna be throwing some parties down there anyway. So,
yeah. Also, right. Also, we also wanted to show some of the powers that our forefathers had.
Exactly.
Right. Like how strong they were, right? How they stood up against adversity. And then how they actually cared about the name of their father. They cared about the name of their family, and how they would carry themselves, right? So we're going to talk about a little bit of that as well, just to show on the all-around power of the 12 sons of Jacob.
That's right. And then
tribes of Israel.
That's right, man. Pure power, And also, once we get done reading our intro verse, I'm going to read two specific. One in Ezekiel, where it talks about the power being given to the men, and also Proverbs 8:4, and then we'll really start getting into the lesson. So, all right, brother, you want to take the first four, and then I'll take the rest.
Let's bring it out. All right, Israel. The Book of Jubilees, right, gives us a little history breakdown from the beginning to the end. Chapter 1, we'll start in verse 7. It says, "And do thou write for thyself all these words, which I declare unto thee this day. For I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land which I swear unto their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, until your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey, and they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods which cannot deliver them from aught of their tribulation. And this witness shall be heard for a witness against them, for they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles," that's these heathens, "and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve other gods," like white Jesus, Allah, and any of these other false gods they got out here, our people out here serving. "And these will prove unto them an offense," right? Because Islam cannot save our people, Christianity cannot save our people, "and a tribulation and an affliction and a snare, and many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances, my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Shabbats, and my holy place, which I've hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I've hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image." Right? Man, we worship ourselves today, right?
I know.
As to go right? As to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons, right? And we doing that right now.
Facts.
We're not bringing up our children in the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We're sacrificing them to demons and to all the works of the error of their hearts.
And you think that you would think that after all these times, thousands of years in history of our people going back and looking up their history, it's like, yeah, you would think there would be some kind of change. It's amazing, man, that we haven't even all died out. Our seed, but the Most High, and that was the promise to Abraham that our seed would remain forever. And the Most High, y'all better be glad the Most High keeps His word. We should be thanking the Most High daily that He keeps His word, because we would be in trouble, boy. Yeah, exactly. All right, verse 11. And I will send witnesses unto them that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and they will slay the witnesses also. They still do that today, brothers like me and Brother Aton, other brothers that are preaching this truth against what should be done. People are bucking against it, and they will persecute those who seek the law, and they will abrogate and change everything so that as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity and for prey and for devouring, and I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And this is why, because our forefathers failed to keep the laws and decided to do their own thing. We've been turned over to the Gentiles. Now they're having their way with us. That's our enemies. They can do anything. They can kill us on the street. They can set up laws against us, and nobody's going to be there to challenge them on that. All right, and they will forget all my law and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Shabbats and festivals and Jubilees and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. Now, it's going to take some serious, it's going to take some serious persecution for us to get to this point. Think about it. We're talking about something that's probably worse than slavery that our forefathers experienced. I don't know, but it's going to be something bad. And I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with all their heart and with all their soul. Don't think that we're going to just get out of here in our wickedness, just doing whatever the hell we want. And that's the problem. A lot of our people thinking that they're going to be delivered in their wickedness. Or we can keep twerking and we can keep doing this. Oh, the Most High is going to deliver us. See the eclipse happen. The Most High is getting ready to come. They're still being wicked. That ain't going to happen. All right, last one, verse 15. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul. And they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse, and they shall be the head and not the tail. That's going to be the future generation, whatever generation that's going to be, whether it's 10 generations in the future or 20 generations from now, but it's going to be a small number, but it's going to be a remnant. You got to remember that. And, we go over this to remind our people, hey, look, doing the same thing the prophets did. Everything had to be redundant, everything had to be repeated because our people are very stiff-necked, very wicked. And so we have to do our due diligence, Hey, you didn't listen to the prophets of old. What makes you going to think that you're going to listen to the servants of the Most High today? So therefore, this is why the Most High is allowing all these immigrants to come in. He's allowing Israel to go down further even more, and he's allowing these illegal immigrants, the heathens, to rise more above us. Have y'all noticed that? I mean, it's happening, y'all. Like we sit right before our very eyes. It's like Brother Aton mentioned last week. Man, these immigrants, man, they got a whole grocery store in their cultures. Not just one, but a chain of them.
God,
you know what I'm saying? And you already know they got restaurants like all over the place, across the U.S. So I'm just saying, man, if our people can't see what's happening right before their very eyes, dang, You know, our people were just straight up destroyed. Hey, brother, you want to say anything before I get into these two scriptures, Ezekiel 34 and then Proverbs 8:4?
Nah, brother, we can go ahead, man. Take off. Let's get it in.
All right. So if you should have your sword always by your side.
All right.
All right. So let's go to Ezekiel chapter 34. I just want to bring this out just to set the foundation, because we got to realize the Most High has an order that he set up. All right. And it says, "And ye, my flock, the flock of my pasture, are men, and I am your Elohim," says Adonai Yahweh. Now, let me elaborate on that a little bit. Now, if we take this all the way back to the beginning, all right, with Adam, who was supposed to be the righteous son of Adam? It was Abel, but then when he was killed by his brother Cain, then it was Seth, all right. And then the next line, Noah. You know, the Most High always chooses the righteous line that are keeping the commandments, that are obeying His voice. You gotta notice that. And then from Noah, and then which line from Noah, which son of Noah did the Most High choose? Shem. All right, which we have the Shemites of today, you know, scattered to the four corners. And then from Shem, you had Abraham. All right, Abraham, you had Isaac, another chosen vessel, and you know, and then Jacob and Esau, and then Jacob was the chosen, and then you had the 12 tribes, the sons of Jacob, which is going to lead us into our lesson. So what I'm revealing here and showing you here is that the Most High has an order. He didn't choose to give His power to the women. He gave it to the men, even though Jacob had a daughter, but there's only still 12 gates. You see what I'm saying? With the names of the sons of Jacob. So when you looking at the perspective and throughout history, you know, the scriptures don't lie. You know, the power was always given to the men, and that's why we have to really encourage these brothers to rise up and start keeping the commandments. This is not for the women; it's for the brothers to start keeping the commandments. Because once the brothers rise up and start keeping the commandments, everything else will start to auto-correct itself.
That's right.
All right. So let's go to Proverbs 8. Proverbs chapter 8. And let's look at verse 4. Yeah, I like that right quick. All right. It says, "Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man." And you know, another way you can look at this too. Now, when you look at how this world was built over the last 2,000 years, all right? We just started the last 2,000 years. You look at all the infrastructures that man has built. Who built that? It was men. You look at all the invasions that ever happened on the earth 2,000 years ago. Show me one point in history where you had a group of women that went in and invaded a country. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to see that. Show me any instance where a group of women went in and invaded a country and overturned a country or took down an army. It's always the men. You got to understand that. You know, the power was always in the men. Not that the Most High care about the heathens or anything like that, but I'm just giving you an example. You know, the men built this world. When we go to war, it's the men that overthrow governments, armies, take over countries, kill the natives and what have you. It's always been the men. So
a good example of that is actually just going on a lesson, right? How we're talking about the 12 sons of Jacob. When the Shechemites, when them boys had kidnapped Dana, right? The daughter of Jacob, and you know, he was trying to make her his wife. What happened?
Yeah.
Right. The 12 sons came over there and toppled the whole city by themselves, right? Caused them to get, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, caused them to get circumcised. And, you know, they were so far in their lust for the Hebrew women that they all got circumcised, right? They all got circumcised and all this other stuff to try to, you know, to fit the criteria to be with our people. And the 12 tribes of Israel, man, well, the 12 sons, man, they came in there and slaughtered everybody. Killed everyone.
And you know, the crazy part is that the Most High sanctioned it too. The Most High gave them permission to do that. And them boys just because they were keeping the commandments, they were obeying, they were the chosen vessels. And, you know, and the Most High always, I don't care what nobody says, the scriptures, the Most High always favors those who keep his commandments. That's just, you know, it's always been. And that's why we hark on these commandments day and night. A lot of people don't even realize the importance of keeping these commandments. You know, so unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. Didn't say unto the daughters of Zion. It didn't say unto the daughters or unto the women. It said that unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. And actually, this is a cut for any woman that think they can get up and preach in the pulpit.
And why is this important, Israel? Why is this important right here? What Brother Daniel was saying, right? The main thing that shows the importance here is that the men, we have to get together, right? You know how there's a order, just like in the scriptures, the original 12 tribes, it all comes from men, right? They had to be in order for the Most High, right, to use them, right, for them to carry on the nation. If the men were to get in order, right, if we're all in order, then you wouldn't have you know, people out here paying for OnlyFans. You wouldn't have brothers out here simping and going after you know, single mothers and things of this nature, right? We just want to have that kind of thing, right? We'll all be living in righteousness, just like in the beginning when we first read the scriptures and in Jubilees, right? It said that the Most High is going to bring us peace through righteousness, right? Peace through righteousness means that the only way that we're going to attain peace is that everybody is going to be following the law, statutes, and commandments.
It's the only way.
God, right? Everybody's going to be following the law, statutes, and commandments with the leadership of the 144,000 with Hamashiach at the head of it. I wanted to bring out something real quick before we take off, just because it's dealing with the lesson. I got this chart, right? Because I want you to know all 12 tribes of Israel, right? All the 12 sons of Jacob that we're going to be dealing with, right? And I also want you to understand the signs, right? The signs and the symbols that each of the 12 tribes, right? Each of the 12 sons they go by, right? The patriarchy, right? So we're just going to start. The first mother we have was what? Remember, Jacob, he worked for 7 years to try to marry Rachel, right? But instead of Rachel, right, he was given Leah, right? Because what? It's not good that the eldest daughter not be married before the younger daughter, right?
Yep.
So, hey, brother, there, you wanted to you have something to say before we get into this, or you want to help me get into this?
Oh no, I'll jump in, man. Once you start going down the line, go ahead, bro.
All right, con. All right, so you know, just to start in the beginning, right? Leah, right? So we have 4 matriarchs, right? Which would be the women that birthed the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Now, these were all just women, because the Most High is not going to look for any wicked women to try to birth the 12 tribes, the chosen, right, men of Israel, right? So these are all women that were virgins. These are all women that understand their place, right? These are all women that obeyed the Most High God, right? So we have Reuben came from Leah, right? And his symbol is recklessness, right? Simeon, right? He came from Leah, violence. Levi, violence, even though he became a priest. Judah, he was a lion, right? Matter of fact, and then we're gonna go over some amazing feats to it of Judah later on, right? Because I want to show you when he got to fighting against these Hamites, right? Yashar'el, man, he was a beast. Second, we have Bilhah, right? And who was Bilhah? Bilhah is Rachel's handmaid, right? Rachel's handmaid, which was given to Jacob to have children, right? Because the women in these times, they didn't have it. It wasn't a jealous spirit, or they didn't look at it different. Because even then, you see in Matthew 25, right? You see that 10 virgins are coming to marry Hamashiach. So regardless of what we see nowadays in the land of the heathen, we think that you know, a man can't marry more than one wife, or this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be. The Most High God, he has it totally different in the scriptures, right? It's 100% different. The mind frame of the women were different back in those days. It was just a lot close to creation than what it is now, and we are a lot further away from what the real truth should be in the organization of the world. So we see that Bilhah, right, which is Rachel's handmaid, she had 2 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Dan, right, who we know is the serpent, right? Or his symbol is the serpent. And then we have Naphtali, which his symbol is the doe, right? And we're gonna look on these things right here, right? And then we can see, right? Reuben, right? Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Ashshur, Joseph, and Benjamin. Now, if you look at all of these particular symbols, right, and we continue to read on here, you'll see how they'll start to match up, how they match up. Zilpah, right? This is Leah's handmaid, right? So Leah gave Zilpah to her husband, right, to be a wife as well, right? But she is also a handmaid. Gad and Ashshur are the 2 tribes that she born. The 2 sons that she born was Gad and Ashshur, which makes up the Gadites and the Ashurites of the 12 tribes of Israel. A raider, right, and rich food. As we see it here, right, we look at Gad, right, and we see Ashshur, right, a fruit tree. All right, we're gonna go over here. Issachar, right, is a donkey because I guess he was supposed to be stubborn, right? Zebulun, right, and this is Leah right here, right? Leah, she was having problems bearing children in the beginning, right? So this is why her children are down here, right? Because the Lord ended up blessing her at the end. All right. Now, Rachel. Salakia. Rachel was having problems because I remember that Joseph became his favorite son because he had born Joseph in his old age. All right. Issachar, right? We have donkey. We have Zebulun, which is also born from Leah, right? And these are ships. Now, remember now, as you're looking at these things, remember, the so-called 12 tribes of Israel, right? And the absolute madness that we look at when we look at that, and when we look at the chart. Let's say, for example, right, we look at these charts and we see that the 12 tribes of Israel is over here, right? We have to always remember this when we're reading the scriptures, right? If you have the Issachars, right, the Issachars, you're going to hear me say this a million times, and I don't care, right? You got Issachar being Mexicans, right? Now, we know Mexicans look totally different than the so-called American blacks that are up here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, that are up here, that's saying they are from the tribe of Judah, right? So how can that be?
Hey, brother, keep that chart up for a minute. I want to interject with something.
Go ahead.
Put that chart back up there. Now, all you got to do, and we did a breakdown on this. If you want to disprove this chart, you can disprove it with one verse, Isaiah 11:11, when it talks about all the locations of the northern tribes.
God.
Now they're supposed to have the northern tribes on here, and none of these places that's in the scripture matches up what they got on this chart.
God.
I mean,
you're right.
It's total deception. I mean, it's just simple, y'all. You can break this. You can burn this chart with one verse.
God, absolutely.
Go ahead, bro.
God. All right. So we see right here that that's just absolute falsehood, right? This was caused. This is why it is pivotal for you to read the scriptures, right? Now we see that Issachar comes from Leah, and so does Judah. Right? Now we know, unless there was no miracle in the Bible that we saw that Leah birthed 2 different races of children. So guess what? Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, they would all look the same. All of them would look the same, right? Now they all sisters, and these are all sisters. All the children are going to look the same, right? But regardless of that, we have the last one that was able to bear children, which is Rachel. The Lord was able to open up her womb at the end, right? And she bore Joseph, right? Which is one of my favorites among the 12 tribes of Israel. And I'll explain to that. And I'll get that. I'll explain that later, right? And Benjamin, right? Which was actually, she named him Ben-Oni, right? Ben-Oni, because he caused her death during birth, right? And that meant death. But it later on got changed to Benjamin. But his original name from his mother was Ben-Oni. All right, so that right there wraps up the 12 tribes of Israel and all 12 sons, right? And then we're going to go over a little bit of the power that they had when they were in the scriptures. And
before we go to that, man, I want to bring out something that's going to go good with this chart that you put up. So just to show you, man, like how the Most High preserved his seed, like these are the physical. This chart right here, you looking at the 12 physical sons of Jacob. All right, now thousands of years later, the Most High still is going to have gates for the 12 tribes, because that means that, what does that tell us? That means that our seed still remains, but we are just scattered to the four corners of the earth. And let me just pull up this right quick. Brother, you want to take that one down right quick so I can show the scriptures on here?
Kind.
Yeah.
Voila.
There you go, bam. All right, so check this out, y'all. Now, this is like way in the future, man. It's amazing, man, how the scriptures just reveals itself, man, and it comes back in a full circle, and there's no lies, man, about it. All right, so it's Revelation 7:3 saying, "Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads." Who are these servants? And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Yashar'el. That's powerful, y'all. So that means 12,000 from each tribe is sealed from the time that Israel was called Israel until whenever, the Most High decides to shut this thing down. All right. And it says, of the tribe of Judah or Yahudah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. And the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Ashshur was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph was sealed 12,000. And of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. We're talking about the seeds of the children of Israel. And just to see how powerful the Most High is, man, that how he can preserve his seed, man, for thousands and thousands of years. It's mind-blowing. So that means, man, he sent his angels, man, to make sure to guide us. And that's why he led us into slavery, into captivity, so that we can preserve his seed. Also because of our disobedience. But he still continues to preserve our seed through disobedience. I mean, that's powerful, y'all.
I wanted Israel. I get this question a lot. Like a lot of brothers ask me, well, what tribe I'm from? What tribe I'm from? Right. Well, you're not going to know what tribe you're from because
exactly.
But you are definitely from one of the 12 tribes of Israel because not the way that the camp say it, but you are who your father is. Meaning that if your father was a Judite, then you're going to be a Judite. Regardless of the Israelite woman that he married, right, or regardless of the Israelite woman that he had you with, or whatever the case may be. Right. So, that's the way that it plays out. Man, you might not know that you're from this tribe or that tribe, but for sure you are going to be one of the 12 tribes of Israel. For you to try to worry about which tribe you're from right now, I wouldn't even worry about it. I would just try to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the main thing. That's the main thing first.
And verse 9 kind of brings it out too, and it kind of gives the explanation that we're not going to know. So it says, after this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. This is the continuation of the 144,000. This is what this is talking about, the great multitude. Some, you got Christians that try to say this is a whole different number. That's false. It's a lie. Which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues. So what this is saying is that our people are scattered to the four corners, but because they're under the language of their captives, they have these different tongues. They're not all speaking the same tongues. All right. Stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with the white robes and palms in their hands. So these are all the 12 sons of Jacob that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So we're not going to know what tribe we're from. We're going to get that when the Hamashiach comes back with 10,000 of his angels. And then we'll know which tribe we're from. But like brother said, that's not the word. That's what's the word about. Our thing is to keep these commandments, laws, and statutes of the Almighty.
Bring it out
so that we can be counted worthy in the 144,000. All right. So, it's a very powerful statement. All right, brother, let's bring it out. Let's bring out some powers.
Okay. Matter of fact, Let me see. Let's go to Jasher 37. Let's go to Jasher 37. Right. I'm gonna read a little bit about the boy Judah, right? Because Judah, I think that he was one of the he was the strongest out of the 12 tribes. Right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the strongest.
You know, so I like reading about that. All right. So we're gonna talk about Jasher and when he was fighting one of the kings of all right. Let me see. All right. I guess that's kind of long. Let me see. Let's go to 39, I think. All right. I guess we'll read.
Give you some key points, yeah.
All right, Con. All right, man. We'll read this to 41. All right. Let me see.
And then let me know if you need me to get some verses, man. I got you.
Con. It said, in Jashub, right, king of Tapnach, also came forth with his army before Judah, and Judah saw Jashub and his army coming toward him. And Judah's wrath was kindled, and his anger burned within him. And he approached to battle, in which Judah ventured his life. Now remember, now these are the hardcore patriarchs. This is the beginning of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? You know, there's other stories too that you can read, and like I'm not sure if they're like you know, how true they really are, because I mean, like some of the brothers that we read about, like I saw something that had Judah was able to jump like a gazelle or something like that, and he was able to do all kinds of crazy stuff. So I'm not sure how true those legends are, but you know, I'm still investigating. All right, but you know, let's continue. It says, and Judah's wrath was kindled, and his anger burned within him, and he approached to battle, in which Judah ventured his life. And Jashub and all his army were advancing towards Judah, and he was riding upon a very long and powerful horse. And Jashub was a very valiant man, and covered with iron and brass from head to foot. Now you got to remember, now these horses and things, like, man, they were a lot larger back in those days than they were nowadays, right? Just like it says in the book of Ezra, as the world grows old, so does its creations, right? They grow smaller, they grow old, they go tired, just like the human race.
Hey, I want to inject on that note. You just made a really good point, man, how things were stronger. So when you said earlier about Judah investigating, now I believe those things. I'm going to tell you why. It's because that generation was closer to Abraham. So it was more closer almost to like the creation. Now remember, Yashar'el, that when Judah gave out a yell, there was one instance when Judah gave out a yell and he caused some women to miscarriage. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, back then, we don't realize the sheer power. Like we see people like Michael Jordan today. You know, you take the most like top Israelite athletes of today, and you look like, man, like boy, your boy Jordan, man. I mean, that dude he's phenomenal, man. And even still to this day. So just imagine 1,000 years ago, man, having even greater force, greater power. You know, I don't know, man. I think I can believe that Judah would have those kind of abilities, you know, and some of the sons of Jacob.
God, probably right.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Yeah, we see how it was long after they were with Samson running through the land, killing up 1,000 with a jawbone, you know, all kinds of stuff, man. David's general slaying, what was it, 800 heathens with a doggone spear. I mean, in one go round, man, that's crazy, man. man.
Well,
our forefathers were no joke.
Yeah.
It says, verse 29, and while he was upon the horse, Salakia, right? And Jashub and all his army were advancing towards Judah, and he was riding upon a very strong and powerful horse. And Jashub, a very valiant man, and covered with iron and brass from head to foot. And while he was upon the horse, he shot arrows with both hands. From before and behind was his manner in all his battles, and he never missed the place which he aimed his arrows. Man, that heathen was a beast. With both hands shooting arrows in front of you and in back of you, just killing. Man, that's a beast, man. Right? So Judah was not against some slouch, right? Some sucker, right? This dude was like that. And when Jashub came to fight with Judah, and was darting many arrows against Judah, the Lord bound the hand of Jashub, and all the arrows that he shot rebounded upon his own men. That doesn't mean like physically come down bound means that the Most High, because this dude was so good at shooting them arrows, right? See, this is why it's important. It doesn't matter about how good you are. It doesn't matter how strong you are. If you don't have the power of the Lord on your side, right? Jacob would have never been able to land. I mean, not Jacob, but Daniel. Salakia, David would have never been able to land that stone upside Goliath's head. This is why it's important that you must believe in the Most High God to get the full power that you're supposed to be granted. Now we see that our brother Judah here, he's against some heathen that does not miss. And he can shoot, and he's ambidextrous, and he can shoot you down with those arrows, front, back, side. It doesn't matter where he's going down, right? But so the Most High was on Judah's side and decided to make this man start missing his arrows in the shots, right? So it says the Lord bound the hand of Jashub, and all the arrows that he shot rebounded upon his own men. And notwithstanding this, Jashub kept advancing toward Judah. Hey, this heathen's so confident. He was like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't care. I'm going in anyway. Because he had to be confused, right? You had to be confused, knowing that you go through battle after battle, shooting down your enemy ambidextrously and never missing. That all of a sudden now, when you're against one of the children of the Lord, hey man, you can't even hit one shot. It's bouncing off armor and going back and hitting your own men. It says, and notwithstanding this, Jashub kept advancing forward toward Judah to challenge him with arrows, but the distance between them was about 30 cubits. And when Judah saw Jashub darting forth his arrows against him, he ran to him with his wrath excited might. Hey, imagine that. You got somebody firing arrows at you, right? You don't have a bow and arrow back. You just get so amped up that you start chasing the dude that's shooting you with arrows. Come on, man.
Back in them days, man, like them boys, they had nothing. All they had to do, man, was like, man, they probably just lifting stones all day, man, shooting bow and arrows all day for practice and practicing the sword, man. I mean, them boys were just off the chain.
Man, they ain't ready, man.
No,
it says, and Judah took a large stone from the ground, and its weight is about 60 shekels, right? It's a few pounds, right? And Judah ran toward Jashub. So this Jashub had a bow and arrow shooting at him. Judah had a stone. And with the stone, he struck him on his shield. That Jashub was stunned with the blow and fell from his horse to the ground. Hey, so this dude on a big old long horse, some big giant, massive horse. Judah see him shooting arrows and riding the horse toward him, some big old battle horse, Judah said, you know what, I'm going to get me a stone off the ground, run up on a man on a horse, and then whack him with the stone. Hit him with the stone so hard. In verse 33, it said that his shield burst asunder. Man, he busted the man's shield. What kind of stone and what kind of power do you have that you can hit somebody with a stone and bust the whole shield?
It wasn't the stone. That was the force of that power, boy. Dang, man. Judah has some serious strength.
And the shield burst asunder out of the hand of Jashub, and through the force of the blow sprang to the distance about 15 cubits and the shield before the second camp. Hey, he busted that thing so hard it flew 15 cubits. Not only did it burst asunder, but the damn shield flew out of the man's hand 15 doggone cubits. And the kings that came with Jashub saw at the distance of the strength of Judah, the son of Jacob, and what he had done to Jashub, and they were terribly afraid of Judah. Man, that's oh man. And they assembled near Jashub's camp, seeing the confusion, and Judah drew his sword. Oh man, Judah had the sword on him and didn't even draw it. He said, you know what, I'm like that. I'm gonna beat you down with a stone. Busted. Hey, he had a sword on him and didn't even use it. This man picked up the stone, busted the man's shield with it. Then he decided he wanted to draw out his sword. And they assembled near Jashub's camp, seeing his confusion. And Judah drew his sword and smote 42 men of the camp of Yashar'el. So right after he had bust old boy's shield, he turned around and gave it to 42 men that was standing about looking stupid. Oh yeah, y'all gonna get something for just standing here. 42 of them got slew. And they left Yashar'el and fled from him. And Yashar'el was still prostrate upon the ground. And Yashar'el, seeing that all the men of his camp had fled from him, hastened and rose up with the terror against Judah and stood upon his legs opposite Judah. And Yashar'el had a single combat with Judah, placing shield towards shield, and Yashar'el's men all fled, and they were greatly afraid of Judah. And Yashar'el man, this is wild, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, one man, right? This is the power of one of the patriarchs.
And here's the thing. Why do you think that is? Because the Most High favored his chosen vessel. You talking about the sons of Jacob, man. You're talking about a seed that was promised through Abraham and that would inherit the kingdom. Man, the Most High don't play like this. This is why, man, keeping the laws are so important, man. Because, man, you don't want to be outside. You don't want to be outside the gates, man. You don't want to be outside the kingdom when it's all said and done. You just don't, man. That's why I can't see how our people just so easily reject the Most High's laws. They don't want this power out.
They don't want it out. They
Pookies and Ray Rays ain't ready for this kind of power.
God, man, dude, they're too busy chasing skirts instead of chasing the laws.
Man,
hey, I mean, like, you gotta imagine the confidence and the faith of our forefathers that, man, he just ran in the battle head first. He was so amped up that he didn't care that this man was shooting. He had to be well renowned. He had to be renowned in battle. If in the scriptures it also had pointed out that this man was like that in battle, he had to be renowned, right? Now, I mean, like, this is some real, kahunas, right? The brother Judah said, man, I don't care about you shooting no arrows. I'm running straight in. Mm-hmm. This had to look like something out of one of those animes, right? Darts going every which way, ain't hitting him. He running straight in, busted him with a doggone a rock, crashed his shield down, knocked him on the ground off the horse. Why he done knocked down the captain, the king, right? He turned around and slayed 42 other heathens standing nearby. Oh, you gonna get killed just for looking. And Judah saw that his shield was split and hastily drew his sword. And Salaki, let me not get to the good part. All right. And Yashar'el had a single combat with Judah, right? So they 1-on-1, they getting it in, placing shield towards shield, and Yashar'el's men all fled, but they were greatly afraid of Judah. Yeah, they would be after they just slew 40-something men of him, right? By himself, solo dolo, 40-something men. Y'all can't fight one man nowadays. One man to get you trouble. You wrestle with him a couple of minutes and you tired and you out. We got our forefathers out here slaying 42. That's 42 strong, big back Africans. And Yashar'el took a spear in his hand to strike Judah upon his head. But Judah had quickly placed his shield to his head against Yashar'el's spear, so that the shield of Judah received the blow from Yashar'el's spear, and the shield was split in two. Man, hey, Yashar'el ain't no slow leak. He's strong too. With the spear, he has split Jacob's shield. And with Judah, he had split Judah's shield, right? Mm-hmm. And when Judah saw that his shield was split, he hastily drew his sword and smote Yashar'el at the ankles and cut off his feet. That Yashar'el fell upon the ground, and the spear from him said, hey, man, you got to be nasty, right? So he throws up a front block, right? As soon as the shield is split, grabs his doggone sword and turns around and sliced this man's feet off at the ankles. You a beast.
That's a cold move right there, man.
That is a cold move right there, man.
That like something you'll see. You remember that movie they made 300 about the so-called Spartans and everything, man, how they were battling on the battlefield, kind of picture something like that when Judah and his brothers were fighting these boys.
Man, hey, it's not over, man. Right? We go for the kill. Like, we like sharks. Like the old Israelites, we were like sharks. We went for the kill. Everybody was a warrior. Man, you go to Numbers and read, you'll see that if every child learned how to fight from 20 years up on up, every child learned battle. You didn't have no brothers that come from any of the 12 tribes of Israel that didn't know how to get it in, that didn't know how to throw hands, that didn't know how to didn't know how to use a shield, a buckler, a sword, a spear, whatever the case may be. Every single one of the men of the 12 tribes of Israel knew how to fight.
In other words, Israel would not raise no punks.
God, right? You want to raised up by your mama, and she ain't have you in there in the band class, doing doing stuff that doesn't amount to a hill of beans.
Taking dance lessons.
God, right?
Ballet lessons.
You was raised up by your fathers. Yeah, matter of fact, man, I'll talk about Joseph next, but I'll let you take over after this. And it says, and Judah hastily picked up Jasher's spear, with which he severed his head and cast it next to his feet. Hey, man, we didn't play no games with the enemies. As soon as this man had did a move, straight out of the Avengers, block, and then turn around with a 360 and doggone slice the man doggone feet off. And when the sons of Jacob saw that Judah had done to Jasher, they all ran into the ranks of the other kings, and the sons of Jacob fought with the army of Jasher and the armies of all the kings that were. Right, and verse 32, and the sons of Jacob caused 15,000 of their men to fall, and they smote them as the smiting it grows, and the rest fled for their lives. Yo, the sons of Jacob. Yeah, man, this is come on, Israel.
Yeah, and there's a lot, man. If you keep on reading, like y'all, this is what I want y'all to do when the days of Shabbat. If you got this on audio, and start from 27 all the way through in the mid 40s. It's just nothing but the brothers battling different groups of people. I mean, it's powerful, y'all. It really is. So I would encourage you, because we're not gonna have time to really read everything, but it's so much, man. You had something out? You want to bring something out? I do. I want to bring it out. So leading up to this, all right. So what Brother Eylam was just reading, man, that's just that's just a smidget. That's just a smidget of what these boys were doing and the power they were displaying. Like I said, man, I would encourage y'all to just start from 27 in the book of Jasher and just go all the way to 50, go all the way to almost 60, because it really goes into detail. So what I want to share with you was, we're going to fast forward a little bit. Now, this is Jasher 54, so I'll kind of give a synopsis what's going on here. So the famine is going on now, and Joseph is in his final years, in his captivity. He's been exalted under the Pharaoh as the governor, all right, at this time. So now the famine is going. His brothers, Jacob, the father, sent the sons to, get grain and everything. So now at this point now, Joseph has challenged them, says, hey, if if you're not spies, then bring Benjamin to prove to us that you're not spies. All right, so this is right before this moment. So I'm going to start reading. I'll read 20. I'm going to start with 26. And it says, Judah said, if I pluck out a single hair from my flesh, I will fill all Mitsrayim with his blood. So this the confidence right there. So Judah is pretty much saying that he gonna kill everybody in Egypt.
Sons of Ham gonna die.
Yeah, man, that just goes to show you right there, man. So, and with Brother Eylam read, man, we're talking about years in between from chapter 37 to this point right here, man. We're talking about almost a span of some good amount of years. All right. In verse 27, it says, and Joseph answered and said, such is your custom. Y'all hear that? Such is your custom to do as you did to your brother whom you sold. All right. Now this is Joseph talking to his brothers, and his brothers don't even know that it's him. And it says, and you dipped his coat in blood and brought it to your father in order that he might say an evil beast devoured him. And here is his blood. All right. And check this out. It says, and when Yahudah heard this thing, he was exceedingly wroth. And his anger burned with him. Because, he's like, damn, how do you know that? He's right. And that joke was just angered like crazy. And it says, and there was before him in that place a stone, all right, the weight of which was about 400 shekels. Now, I was doing the calculation. Now, shekel is around, it's supposed to depend on what it is, anywhere from some like maybe like maybe 20 ounces or whatever like that. But this is 400. We're talking about something that probably weighs almost 100 pounds probably at this point. So he says the weight of which was about 400 shekels. And Judah's anger was kindled, and he took the stone in one hand and cast it to the heavens.
That's about 100 pounds, man. You got to be a beast to pick up a 100-pound stone and just to throw it in the sky like, what?
And this is how we read that again. It says, Yahudah anger was kindled, and he took the stone in one hand and cast it to the heavens and caught it with his left hand. So
what?
That joker threw a stone up, man, to the heavens. Now, when it says, I can't even imagine how high this was. How high he threw this thing. All right, and then caught it with his left hand and placed it afterwards under his legs, and he sat upon it with all his strength, and the stone was turned into dust from the force of Judah.
Judah, beast, man.
I know, man.
100-pound stone. Let me look that up exactly. That's
look that up, man. That's crazy.
85 pounds, almost 86 pounds.
Damn.
I rounded up. That's 86-pound stone.
You go to like go into the gym, man, and
pick up an 80-pound weight.
And see how far you can throw that thing up, man. You wouldn't be able to throw that thing up a foot.
And he caught it up with one hand and caught it with the left hand.
Yeah, he threw it with one hand and caught it he threw it up with his right hand and caught it with his left hand.
Imagine catching a punch from Judah.
Oh man.
Man, if a Judah would have punched you, man, you would. Hey, that's why old boy flew all them centimeters off that horse. You know what I'm saying? When they're talking about he flew all them those cubits off that horse. Yeah.
That would be like the 30 times punch of Mike Tyson, man. Like Mike Tyson is known to be one of the most prolific, one of the most powerful boxers of our time. And just imagine receiving a punch from Mike Tyson, but imagine something like that 30 times more powerful.
Man, that's the true meaning of one hit quitter. Hey, he was killing. I mean, that would kill you. That would literally kill you. Punches like that would kill somebody. If you could throw an 85-pound weight into the sky, like it was nothing. Hey, you were out there killing folks with your hands. Imagine how powerful you could swing a sword or a spear. I wonder what those spears were made out of. To be able to take that kind of that power.
Hey, check this out. It gets better though. It gets better because here, Judah is talking to Joseph, man. He don't even know that it's his little brother, man. That's his baby brother. It says, and Joseph or Yosef saw the act of Judah, and he was very much afraid. But he commanded Manasseh, his son, and he also did with another stone like unto the act of Judah. So Manasseh came out there and threw a stone up in the air.
Man, all them boys strong.
We talking about the descendants of Israel, man. This is what I'm talking about right here. And it says, and Yahudah said unto his brethren, let not any of you say this man is Mitsrayim, but by his doing this thing, he is of our father's family.
Showing you what?
He's the boys are doing
that you got to be powerful. You got to be of some real strength to come from the 12 tribes of Israel. This is why people are the best athletes on the earth.
Exactly. That's what I was saying earlier, man. Like you look at our performance, like the musicians, how they take it to they take it to the next level. And I'm not talking about the musicians of the day. I'm talking about back then, when we had, you had like people like James Brown, man, and you had the Commodores, you had these other that was creating original music, man. Cameo, all them boys, man. You know, a lot of it was clean, but it was just original. They wouldn't compete, and everybody had their own little category. You know,
man.
Check this out.
Back in them days.
I'm telling you, man. Like all them groups, man. Shoot, boy, Temptations. You know what I'm saying? And the music was clean, man, but it was just it just something you can listen to, you know. Verse 31, and Joseph said, "Not to you only is strength given, for we are." This is it. For we are also powerful men. And why will you boast over all us? And Yahudah said unto Joseph, "Send, I pray you, our brother, and ruin not your country this day." You know, so I'll start right there. But if you go on and everything, like I said, I would challenge you all, just start from like chapter 37, read all the way through, or either listen to it all the way to the end, man. It's some good. I mean, man, we have a powerful book. I can see why the heathens wanted to hide our books out from us and cut it out of the Apocrypha. You know, and that's probably why these. And that's, you know what? And that's probably what these. I guarantee you, man. This is probably where all the superheroes come from. They look at Israel. They look at our people, man. And they come up with Superman. They come up with Flash Gordon, Black Adam. You know, all these different superheroes. The Incredible Hulk. Somebody mentioned in the comment. You know, they probably got that from Judah, man. They probably read in the scriptures, man. It's like, dang.
They doing it like this over here, throwing up 85-pound boulders. You know what I mean? Hey, man, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. And so just talking about the power, you know, and then when you look at the descendants, all right, even afterwards, even after the years they were in captivity, they came out all the way to the laws to King David. You know, man, King David was sawing his enemies in half with saws and stuff. Yeah. He took. You read that in Chronicles, man. He took the crowns off the other kings, man, and put it on his own head. Yeah. I was like, dang, like that's from the line of Judah, man. Like them boys are powerful, man. Like King David, like is a prime example, man. He killed. He slayed a lion with his own hand and a bear.
God, they were playing with him like they were little bitty, like they were puppies, you know, like they were pets.
Yeah, man. And so throughout the history, and then let's bring it all the way up to the Greeks, man. You had Judah Maccabees.
Yeah.
Who got with his boys, man. They ran the Greeks out. They ran them booty boys out the temple. Shoot. So all throughout history, man, and to this very day, like our people have been very, very powerful. The men, you know, just showing the strength. And even still, man, you still have certain athletes today, man. What's that, brother? Not Usain Bolt, the Jamaican dude. But it's another, but it's another brother now who beat his record. And I think he's also from Jamaica, I think. But our people, man, still have displayed that powerful genes, man.
You know what? Something else I wanted to add too on this. Now, you know, Brother Daniel and myself, we brought out a couple of points dealing with how strong our people are, like how, you know, our physical prowess, right? And that goes, you know, hand in hand with today and how we still perform, right? It may not be as, you know, to the extent that we were back in those days, but we know that Ronnie Coleman still one of the strongest dudes out there. Us a brother, right? Michael Jordan, a brother, right? You know, all of these fast athletes, you know, everything that's you know that we look at is Israel, right? Israel pretty much runs everything far as that's concerning. And you know how we but another thing that stood out to me that in the scriptures was, you know, when you really think about it and you have to sit down and think about the situation that Joseph was involved in, right? Let me bring that up first, right? In the situation that Joseph was dealing with. This is how powerful we are, right? This is how powerful, like mentally as well. I just want to read a couple of things first. It says, these are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father the evil report, right? Now Israel loved Joseph more than, that's Jacob, right? Now Jacob, or, you know, Israel, when he got his name changed, which means prince of the power, loved Joseph more than all his children. because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that his father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. Right now, if you continue to read the story of Joseph, you know that his brothers was hating on him so bad that they ended up throwing him into a pit, and he went to the Ishmaelites, and then the Ishmaelites, they didn't want to bother him because they thought that they knew that he was not a slave, right? So they gave him up because they didn't want him to be found in his hands, because they didn't want nothing to happen to him. So they ended up giving him up to the Egyptians, right? And he still had remained and kept that lie up, saying that he was a slave, right? Now, there's two things that I want y'all to read here. Number one is that the sons, what did they strive for? They strive for the approval of their father, right? To the point that they were so mad that they doggone threw Joseph into the doggone pit and tried to sell him off because he got the coat of many colors, and that his dad had cared for him more than the rest of them, right? So I want to make that important to all you brothers out there, all you brothers that might have, grew up in a single mother household and you haven't reached out to your father. Hey man, you need to reach out to your father to see what's good, to see his story, his side of the story, and you need to see what's going on.
That's right.
Right? Because you don't even know it, but you probably still need your father in your life. That's number one, right? And number two, Joseph kept it more real than any of the other 11 tribes of Israel. You know why? He did not want to bring down the name of his father. He did not want to get his brothers in trouble. This is why when they went in front, this is why the whole time they never knew who he was. He didn't say that he was a son of Israel, Jacob, who was very famous in the land. Right? Jacob was very famous. No one knew who Joseph was because Joseph was keeping it 100, trying to save his brothers and his brother's reputation. He didn't want his dad to know that his brothers were mad and they tried to sell him off. He didn't do that. Even when they first came up in front of him, Joseph never snitched on his brothers. That's the kind of stuff that our people need to come up with. That's the power, right, of keeping it really 100. You have to look out for your family, look out for your stuff. You don't get on to the social media talking bad about your people. Oh, wicked ass nigga. I'm afraid if I'm in the black neighborhood because I'm afraid of black people. Man, shut your ass up. We had a brother that was sold by his own people to the heathen, and he kept it 100. Y'all brothers get locked up. Y'all want to go out here and sell dope, but then when the white man catch you, you want to tell your brother you want to get him time too. Folly, man. A lot of us can take a real lesson at the 12 tribes of Israel. Not only are they strong, right? Man, Joseph said, hey, Manasseh, man, go ahead and throw that stone up to the sky and show you that you just as diesel and a brolic as your brother. Man, Judah thought he was shining. All of us are like this. All of us have powers. All of us are strong in the faith. We have to just take hold of it. And you know what was different then that it was now? That the Most High had the blessing on the 12 tribes of Israel and those brothers, and they were supposed to obey and follow the commandments. Look how the Most High has even guided our people from the beginning. Man, 11 of them brothers were together with doggone trying to sell, trying to kill their brother. Technically, they should have been killed. But the Most High loves our people. Right? All of us, you have to, this is why I like Joseph. Joseph is my favorite son out of the 12 tribes of Israel. It's because of how he kept it 100. Right? He didn't want to doggone, he kept it 100 the whole time. He ain't snitch on his brothers. Right? He bared the, he bared the heartaches in the prison for years and all this other stuff. When guess what? When he had a father that was rich, that he could have just told and be like, you know what? I'm from the son of Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I'm the son of Jacob. I'm the son of Israel. Return me back to my home. But he never did that. But look how the Most High brought his brothers around in the future, right? They all forgive him. They all made up. They never killed each other. They all made up. That's the same thing that we got to do with our people. If you could, if this brother could get sold to other nation and put in captivity and still have the heart to forgive his brother, it's the exact same thing that we should be doing as people. It's not all about who's the best basketball player and who's the best athlete. It's about loving your brother as you want to love yourself. And these scriptures
That's true.
for that.
That's true forgiveness, man. That's how you truly forgive your brother.
Huh.
All right. And you know what? Are you going to expound some more on this? Because
No. Calm. Nah, that was it.
Okay. And you know, man, just to show you, like, to reiterate, the Most High, man, he keeps his covenant. He never ever broke his covenant. We were the one who broke the covenant by breaking the laws.
God.
But the Most High always kept. And see, this goes back to that everlasting love that the Most High has for his people. All right. Hebrews 8 says, "For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he says, behold, the days come, says Yahweh, when I will make a renewed covenant with the house of Yashar'el and with the house of Judah." This is talking about the northern and southern tribes.
That's right.
All right, because we're still split. "Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Mitsrayim, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, says Yahweh. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Yashar'el after those days, says Yahweh. I will put my Torah into their mind, and write in their hearts, and I will be their Elohim, and they shall be to me a people." All right. This is one of the most powerful verses, and one of my favorites, because it lets me know that, you know, the Most High did not forget. He never broke his covenant. All right. We're talking about different generations. All right. The generations of our forefathers that was wicked in the wilderness, you know, to this very generation of today, the ones who are keeping the commandments. All right. That's what the covenant is for. And this is also a cut to show you that the Most High did not give a covenant to no other nation on the face of the earth. You know, you got these, you got the cracker out there holding their Bibles in their churches, thinking that they're going to be coexisting with Yashar'el in the kingdom. That ain't going to happen. All right. The covenant was only given to Israel, not our enemies. And when you look at the big picture and how the Most High is bringing this thing to naught, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about getting back to these commandments. You know, them boys back in the day, you know, the Judah and his brother, man, you know, the scriptures would talk about how they would let out a loud screech, like even the sound would terrify the enemies. You know, I can even only imagine what that sounded like, man. If you were to just go out into open field and try to like screech or yell in a way, man, where it frightens people, man, that's what they had.
Man, you could tell already that the sounds that are come out of our mouths, or the words that we say as Hebrews, right? They have a great lasting effect. Not even on the heathens, but only especially our own people, which is why they push that wicked ass rap music to our people.
Yep, you're right. Because words have power, words have meaning, and when you put in that low frequency mess out there, man, you know, causing our people to sell drugs to one another, killing one another, glorifying that mess. You know, glorifying the Pookie and the Ray Ray and the Pookies and the Ray Ray's lifestyles. You know, influencing the twerking lifestyle. This is what you get. You got out of order people. You know, they're producing seed, but it's out of order. They're producing seed for the sword. Nothing like, man, every Israelite brother had a virgin. All right. You were guaranteed a virgin, 2 virgins, 3 maybe, but you were guaranteed a virgin back in those days to wife. And you knew that woman was going to be a helpmate, and you knew that she was already knew her place. She wasn't going to be trying to buck over the man. Talking about, I want my liberation. I want my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it was never about that. Women just fell in line under the men because the power, because men, we are the power of the woman, and the power of the man is Hamashiach.
That's right.
I mean, scriptures don't lie. Yeah, that is your women. The men are your power, not the Hamashiach. Hamashiach is the power of the men.
I'm gonna show you. Just speaking of that, right? I want y'all to pay attention. Another reason why Joseph is one of my favorite brothers is because number one, right? Number one, as we see, the one as we see here, right? This says that Joseph, he went and he told his brother because Joseph was the good son, right? As you see that, he said Joseph brought into his father their evil report, meaning that the other 11 brothers, man, they weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Joseph was obedient and he was good to his father, right? He was a good son, right? He was trusted. Mm-hmm. Also, right, one of the main things I like about Joseph is you remember who tried to approach Joseph, Potiphar's wife, right? Mm-hmm. Remember Joseph went through that whole thing with Potiphar's wife. The doggone woman tried to trying to sleep with him. Right, this should be a staple in the community of a good example of what it is not to be a simp, a sucker, a lustful brother that's going chasing after skirts when you know better than his Potiphar's wife. She was a wife to Potiphar, right? This woman was a harlot in disguise, and she had really liked Joseph, right? You see, wicked women, right? Wickedness, they will try to they will want to attract the righteous to try to bring you down, right? Righteousness is even attractive to wickedness because it's going to try to bring you down. Potiphar's wife had came upon Joseph, right? Was trying to, he fled the house. He had to run and flee from the woman. This should be how every single brother should be. If your brother's wife is a harlot and she tries to come onto you, you need to be fleeing the scene. Let that brother know immediately that, brother, you have married a harlot. This is how you need to be when you're dealing with any woman that has a child by another man. You need to be flee the scene. They are all Potiphar's wife.
That's right.
They're trying to seek you, right? Joseph, right? Not only he was loyal to his brothers 100%, and he was no simp. The Most High did what? Blessed him to the point where he reigned over Mitsrayim. Mm-hmm. He was almost just as powerful as the Pharaoh.
On that note you brought up, man, about your brother's wife approaching you. Now so let's look at the day. All right, you have 70% women running the households. And they're going after these men after them had children with by other dudes. All right. Technically, if you claim to be following the law, and I'm talking to the sisters, all right, right now, if you have children, you're not married, and you have children by other men, and you sitting out there single, independent, technically that is truly against the law, because technically back in the days, a woman, if they were not married, they were to remain under their father. That's law. They were to remain under their fathers. So you see how we're doing it, man. We're like so backwards today, and that's why things are the way they are. It's such out of order, and with all these babies being produced, it's just out of order, and it's not in the right. It's not in righteousness, and this is why we're seeing all the chaos, man, and all the killing, and it's gonna get worse. That's just the facts. You stood it out.
Bring it out. Yeah, kind of bring it out, man.
Yeah.
So, like I said, Israel, this is one of my favorite brothers out here. Out of the 12 tribes of Israel, I like Joseph because, he really didn't have all those spirits on him. He wasn't trying to sleep with his father's wife, like old boy was trying to do. Was that Manasseh, his old wicked ass? I think he tried that, right? Wasn't it Manasseh? It was one of them, right?
I have to relook at that one.
Right. Yeah. We had a lot of but Joseph among the 12 to me stood out, even though we had Jacob. Judah. He was the lion. He was always, Judah was like, Reuben, good looking. Yeah, Judah. Judah was like the show off brother.
Oh yeah, Reuben. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Judah was like the show off brother. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, he was, you know, it looked like he had a real outgoing personality, you know, this, that, and the third. Which, you know, I understand because, like, man, look at how people are today, right, man? You look at the football players or the basketball players and the brothers that are real good at it, man. You know, they got a little, you know, they got a little personality that goes right along with them. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
you know what's funny about Joseph? Like, what I like, you know, when he first in the beginning, when his father, if you read the book of Yashar'el, man, when his father made him the coat of many colors, and for a while, man, Joseph, he was bragging. I ain't gonna lie, man, his brother probably got pissed off, man. Like I could see Joseph talking noise to his brother. Yeah, look at me. He said, my father put me in charge of y'all. Y'all sheets are bowing down to mine. Yeah, it said that Joseph was bragging. Joseph was like literally gloating at the time. You know, this is all before, you know, they sold him into slavery, but Joseph was gloating. Well, there's been several times too where he was gloating to his brothers and everything. So, you know, being older brothers, man, that probably pissed him off to the highest level of festivity, man.
I mean, you know, I think that like a lot of the stuff that Joseph was saying, I think he was like innocent in what he was saying. Like, you know, like when he was trying to explain the dreams and stuff like that, the brothers just, man, like, what do you mean? You know, so we gonna be bowing down to you and you the stars of heaven. What you talking about? You know,
it wasn't only the dreams though. There was some other. You got to read it, man. There was some other incidents, man, where Joseph was just saying, "Hey, look, Father has put me in charge of you."
Oh man,
that coat of many color went to his head for a little bit, man. Until they ripped it out of him, man. Yeah, but Scripture says that they ripped him. Man, they ripped him out from his coat. That means the coat was still in one place, man. They snatched him from out of his coat.
Hey man,
man, that's how mad it was.
Oh man, that's wild.
Oh,
man, was hating on that man coat, man.
Yeah, man. But we just wanted to bring out some power tips to you all, just to show you the power of the sons of Jacob, and just, you know, in Israel in general. You know, hey, and all of this. It's all about, man, we keep the commandments, we be obedient to the Most High. Put away these idols, put away all them damn holidays. Our people just don't make no damn sense. It's like our people be the first ones, man. I remember at my place of work, they you know, every holiday, man, people dress up in these damn Christmas costumes. They had a brother, man. This dude, full beard, everything, man. This big, huge dude, man, looked like he played for the linebacker for the Jets or something. But man, this dude was dressed up as a Christmas rat. Like he had all around him, man. He was dressed in red and had like a blue bow tie around his belly, man. I had to, man. I'm like, come on, bro. We setting this back some years, man. That's like full grown ass, hairy ass man dressing up as a damn Christmas rat. I'm like, dang, man.
You didn't see our people doing that in the scriptures, right?
No.
If you look at our forefathers and stuff like that, we weren't doing that, Israel.
Yeah,
we didn't do no. We you know, like our minds were on things that were so far above, what's going on today. Right, we have to get back there. We have to get back to the faith. Right, like I said, Judah had the faith in the Most High where he can just run straight in against one of the greatest archers on horseback there was in that time.
That's right.
Cut his legs off, and then slice his head off with the spear. This is the kind of faith that we need to get back to, Israel.
And see, Israel, the only time that our people always went in captivity is when they started worshiping other gods. That's it. As long as we put away all the idols, we burned all the idols like the Most High told us to. We were on cloud 9. We were on top of the world. Look at this, Deuteronomy 7:25. This is what we got to get back to. The graven images of their Elohim shall ye burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it unto you, lest you be snared therein, for it is an abomination to Yahweh El-Hakia. Neither shall ye bring an abomination into your house. You know, our people got all these little niglet heads, these little Hamite niglet heads sitting up in their houses. Y'all need to take that stuff out and burn it, lest you be a cursed thing like it. But ye shall utterly detest it, and ye shall utterly abhor it, for it is a cursed thing. We should hate these holidays with a passion. I hate them. I don't even go out. Like before these holidays, I'll go to the store. I'll get all my grocery items I need to get, so I don't even have to go out and hear that crazy mess. Cause they be playing that damn hella Christmas music and all that other stuff. And these heathens, they're into that stuff. And what's so bad about it is our people are into it heavily more than they are. So we should hate these holidays, y'all. And if you're new in this faith and you got an old Christmas tree just in a box somewhere, and you've been in this truth, you just ain't open it, but you need to get that thing out your home and burn it, Yashar'el. Like literally take it to a burn pit. Don't throw it away. Take it to a certified burn pit and burn the hell out that thing.
Nobody else don't get it.
Any little Hamite nigglets you got, you can build a little pit in your backyard or whatever. Burn them things.
You know what's crazy, right? At verse 25, it says, "The graven images of their Elohim shall ye burn with fire. You shall not desire the silver or gold that is on them." Right? So let's say if somebody gave you like a little Buddha trinket and it's 24 karat gold, right? That's what it's talking about. Like if somebody out here, right, they gave you one of these trinkets of these false gods or elephant, or you know how they got these Shiva or whatever these other gods that they have out there, and they give it to you. You may have some 24 karat gold, or this necklace might have diamonds on it, or the earrings might be of a heathen god and it has diamonds or gold or silver on it. Man, hey, man, we don't care if it's I don't give a damn how much it costs.
Exactly.
Get rid of it. That's wickedness that's on you. That's an unclean spirit that is cleaving to you, right? Especially that's the very first commandment. The Most High says, "You shall not take other gods before you. You shall not have any kind of graven images." So what do you think is going to happen if you die with one of those trinkets around your neck, or you die with the Shiva earring in, or something like that? You will not be getting the kingdom. If you got a ring on, brothers, or whatever the case may be, brothers and sisters alike, you will not be getting the kingdom. You have a little fat Buddha elephant or a Buddha in your home, and it's 24 karat gold, and you die with a false god in your dwelling, you will not be making it. God does not play second fiddle to no one.
Yeah, and that's why you really need to check your house. You should check. I have to make sure when I first came into this truth to make sure. I mean, I would never into the little nigglets anyway, but still, I didn't want anything in my house that was going to offend the Most High. So if you're new in this faith, go through your home and check, make sure, because sometimes having those things in your home and you being cursed, you don't even realize what's happening. Get rid of it. And that is the first step. That's why, as long as we live on this earth and we keep the commandments, we have to detest all the abominations of the earth. Don't even participate. I don't care if your family members, you've been family members and you've been bringing your children over for Thanksgiving to their homes, whatever, and you came into the truth. You tell them why you don't do that. Don't bring them over there, because they're not going to respect the laws of the Most High.
They're not.
They're going to be trying to throw that stuff in your face. Oh yeah, we over here having pork chops and we got this ham over here. You used to eat some ham. How come you don't want to bring my grandchildren over? They'll try to throw that stuff in your face.
God, be like, I don't want to bring them over because I don't want them to go to hell like you going. Exactly.
They'll try to throw that stuff in your face. Well, you used to come over here. All these years you've been coming over here. Now you don't want to. Now you all of a sudden you got into this coat and you don't want to come over here and have Thanksgiving with us. Yeah, they'll try to use all kinds of slander on you.
They're gonna be mad, Israel. They'll be mad at you once you start keeping the commandments. I know you think that, hey, once I start obeying God, that everybody's gonna be okay with me being nice. No, Israel, your light is shining on their darkness, and they don't like that. They're like Smeagol, right, from the Lord of the Rings. They're hiding in the corner in the darkness that they don't want to be shined on. Right? Once you start shining your light on them, they're gonna have a problem with you. That's why the scripture says that the enemies are going to be in your own household. Right? There's going to be people in your family that's not going to like that you're keeping and you're following the laws, statutes, and commandments, and they're going to do everything in their power to try to upset you, aggravate you. You know what I'm saying? Saying stupid stuff like, are you sacrificing doves and animals because of their ignorance and they don't understand how Mashiach came and they died, so we don't have to sacrifice anymore? You have a lot of folly that's going to follow you around once you start to obey the Most High God. That's why it says you got to stay strong until the end.
That's right.
Endure until the end.
And that's why Hamashiach said that the world will love his own. See, when our people are still out in the world, they're going to love their own. That's why they don't like you anymore, because your light is too bright. The ego cannot dwell with turkeys. You just can't. You can't dwell in the same space. And once you get this truth and everything, you're shining. you're shining, you're keeping the commandments. And that's like an ego being amongst the turkeys.
Yeah.
You can't dwell together. And that's why you got brothers like Cat William, they can get up there and snitch on their brothers and sisters, man, and the world loves them, you know what I'm saying? But just imagine if that brother was getting on stage and telling everybody, his people, to keep the commandments. They shut him down, but you know what? He would have reached thousands of our people. He would have made them realize, oh damn, this brother up here saying keep the commandments. What? But they're not going to say that, man, because when you get into that kind of lifestyle, you have to sell your soul, and you cannot even once mention about coming into this truth or keeping the commandments. That's why they gave old boy a hard time. What's his name? Curry, the guy who the NBA dude. And when he mentioned about that it was the Hebrews and Negroes, he pointed to a link or something like that, man. Them KZRs went crazy, man.
God. They had him out there trying to write the letter of apology, pay some fine.
Yeah, man.
Talk to some folks that's not even an Israelite. Well, talk to the fake Jews about this, man. It's just like, what, man? This stuff is.
It was like 5 things he had to do, but I guess he bent over and went ahead and did it, man. Because hey, our people are slave to the dollar, unfortunately.
Right. And the true anti-Semitism is not recognizing or telling the truth that the real Israelites are the so-called Negroes that have been spread to the four corners of the earth. Right? That's the true anti-Semitism. Calling us, all kinds of stuff. Right? They're not even close to Shem, man. They're not even they are from the seed of the serpent, man. Talking about anti-span. That's why they're going through what they're going through now, man. That's right. The Lord gonna get them out, root them out.
Yep,
root them out. It says John, the book of John, chapter 3, right, verse 19, 20, 21. It says, "And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone that doeth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved." See, this is why they do not like you. They do not want to be around you if they're not following the laws, statutes, and commandments themselves, because you're going to shine a light on their evil deeds. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in God. Meaning that if you come into the light and you're doing what you're supposed to, right, your deeds are going to be shown. You're going to have a fruitful, you're going to have a fruitful tree, because you're doing what? You're obeying the laws, statutes, and commandments. You want your deeds to be light, to shine on the wicked niggas that are around you, right? To try to bring them into the faith, to try to hopefully, and you pray that they'll change as well. Right? You don't want a wicked somebody being comfortable around you. That's not what you want. They want to be, man, you have somebody around you talking folly, talking fraudness, right? Or any kind of things that you don't want to hear. Hey, right. They have to, when they get around you, they got to feel uncomfortable talking about Keisha with the big booty. They got to feel uncomfortable talking about that around you. Fair. Because they knew that you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you don't want to hear that crap, or you're gonna rebuke them. It's lonely, Israel. It's lonely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments.
It's not easy, but if you stay perseverant with it, man, it'll get better for you. Because you know how to defend yourself each time, and then they'll see that, and maybe they may come through. Maybe they're a light of shine or something, and they'll come through. But that's only for the Most High, because we don't know. Only the Most High knows, and those who hear my voice are going to answer. My sheep hear my voice.
All right, Israel. Do we have any questions? I guess we'll take a few questions before we end the live today. We've been on for an hour 30, a little bit more. I can't remember. Yeah, like we're on there for a little minute. But yeah, if you got any questions, I guess we'll answer a few before we let y'all get back to y'all holy Shabbat for today.
Anything that's related to the lesson, or if it's something you didn't understand, or about the history of our people, it's out there. Even though they hit our history, our people got to dig for it. It's gonna be on us to do that. Yep.
Let me see. All right.
Yeah, he just saying I got told that a couple days ago. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they will. But stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. Right. That's all you got to do. Most High bless you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Israel. I guess that's it, right? I guess that's it. Turn it over to Brother Daniel.
All right. Well, we're going to enjoy the rest of this Shabbat Shalom, this holy day of the Most High. Again, just go back and listen to it. Sit down, put the audio if you got the audio for this. Joshua 37. I mean, it's you're going to be amazed just at the scriptures and the power, the sheer power of our people. So with that being said, Yashar'el, if the Most High's will, we're going to see you. We're going to see you on the next Shabbat.
Right.
So I'm going to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom.
And stay strong, Israel. And stay strong.
All right.